So exciting! This broadcast.
Yay! You are live. So, are you watching the? You're watching the YouTube, right?
I am.
So
I'm watching it right
hits.
now, and I'm waiting for it to go live. And I will let you know as soon as it's on. And it's official. We know that it's a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
And there's 12 people waiting. So let's see. Here we go.
So it says 20 seconds now. It should go live anytime soon now.
All right, I'm just watching it. Wait, there it goes. Oh, there it is. It didn't show me an ad, and I can see myself going like this. So there we are.
Hi guys, welcome to the first live stream, and especially welcome to Emilia. Hi. We've been chatting a little bit, of course, before we hit the live button. So we're already catched up a little bit. So this is my first time going live, and Emilia sort of challenged me to do it. I've seen her do it. She invited me over to her channel to sort of test it out and see how it all worked. And thank you for doing that, Emilia.
I brought the sound effects with me from my channels, because this is a party. Like, this is a huge deal. I think you really underestimate what it is that you have embarked on and decided to do in going live. Like, most people aren't doing this. So the fact that we're here right now, and that little, was it over there, wherever it is, where that little red button is on and live, and you are live. It's a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we have 16 people watching. So counting us, that would be 14 other people. That's pretty awesome. So
it's actually, I think it says 18 watching now. It says 19 over here on YouTube.
Okay, there's probably a little delay into Emilia and I are looking into some software here, because since I wanted to invite her onto the stream, we have to use like an external piece of software, which you can see up in the corner. Next to Emilia's face.
I think it's
over in your window.
It's there. It's the StreamYard logo, powered by StreamYard.
Yeah.
All right. Totally. So what are we going to do today? What's going on?
Yeah, I have a few questions lined up from the community, and of course we're going to take questions from the chat here as well. And I just want to say really quickly that this is one of the main reasons why I started this channel. I mean, I've been trying to fly under the radar for many years, not talking too much about what I've been doing and sharing my domains and URLs and stuff. But I just found out that it's kind of lonely sometimes doing what I do. Also because I'm placed in Denmark, so there's not a ton of folks here doing English content websites or affiliate websites, whatever we want to call this stuff. But so I wanted to meet folks, and I've been fortunately to meet people like you, Emilia, and many other really cool guys and girls. So it was just to share why I'm doing this, and of course I'm building up to a course. That's also a motivation because I have something to share. But I think that my primary driver to do this is just to hang out with people, and this is an awesome way to do that. I didn't want to do this right off the bat because sitting here with 2 subscribers would be a little weird.
I don't know. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's true.
Well, what we should do is say hi to the folks in the chat. I see some folks over there that I know. I see Jay, and I see Pete, and I see Matt Hasanka, who posted on your community that he or she was anxiously waiting. And thanks for hopping on. I've never seen Sweet Love's text messages. I don't know who that YouTuber is. Is that someone that you know well?
Nope. And we have Ahmed Hamdallah and Pete Miles.
Hi, Pete. How's it going?
And Steven. Oh, my feet are jumping a little bit. So, and we have.
Hey, Steve. How's it going? It's nice chatting with you. I haven't touched base with you in a while, and I would love for you to tell me in the comments how your sites are going. We just haven't connected in a while, so that'd be cool.
Awesome. I can see I have a fellow Dane here, Dan Bjarke Jensen. That's a very Danish name. Let's say it in Danish, Dan Bjarke Jensen.
Yeah, I would have had. I'm glad you got that one because I would have.
Well, welcome here. That's awesome. And we have Dragon, Sue, James, and Adam Silton. I've seen you before a couple of times. Thank you for being here. I also took a few questions from the community, and they are from Adam. So we're going to start with those in a second. And
awesome.
All right, let's do that, because then people can have a little time to join. I see we have 25 people on now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's a good idea. Bridget was saying hi from California. It'd be really cool to know where in the world everybody is.
Let us know where you are in the world. Hello from India. I also see that. That's awesome.
That's exciting. So questions. Cool. You wanted to go to questions, or we want to talk to the chat? Hey, Jesse.
There's this little banner feature here. So I'm going to shoot the question up here on the screen. so everybody can see it. Let's see if that works. Okay, there it is. So that's from Adam Sultan. I'm getting a bit scared of the Google snippets. I fear less people will go through to my sites. How do you think I should plan my sites so they are bringing in money 5 to 7 years from now? So you want to go first, Emilia?
Well, the snippet issue is a big one, and we know that we have zero control over the Google unless we want to, withdraw our sites from the search engine and control our content wholly and entirely. And unfortunately, that's just not really a good option when your site is based wholly on search traffic. I mean, some of the obvious things to do are to diversify your traffic sources, right? To just not be so reliant upon Google. If I want to still be earning money, presuming, of course, that the monetization strategies still exist, assuming that Amazon Associates still exists in 5 years, or that Ezoic or AdSense, all those things exist. I mean, we're making those assumptions. But my initial thought would be to become less reliant on Google and to focus on diversifying those traffic sources, getting Pinterest up and going, having a YouTube channel that filters people from YouTube to your website, even going on TikTok and making some, dances and stuff that actually draw people to your website. I mean, there's no knowing that the world is going to be here in 5 years. And 5 years in the internet world might as well be 15 because of the speed at which things move. But initially, I think that diversification is probably one of the best ways that anybody of any experience, right, a beginner can start building a Pinterest account. You don't have to be an SEO of 10 years of experience like you are to be able to start troubleshooting the snippets issue. What do you think?
Yeah, well, as you said, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing SEO consulting for a little more than 10 years. So I've seen people yell the sky's falling many times with Google. Do you remember when we had the ads in the right column in Google and they didn't really interfere with the whole organic search result? And then they moved it at the top and everybody said, you can't do SEO anymore because everybody's going to click on those. And that didn't happen. And then they introduced the four ads instead of 3. And now we have all these carousels and a ton of stuff going on that's just keep pushing the organic results down. But looking at the data, it's not like people are clicking more and more on Google Ads. That's actually why they're doing this, because people are still clicking through to the organic search results. So I just see snippets as another bump on the road, and definitely not a deal breaker in any way. I haven't really seen any of my sites lose traffic.
They don't have enough time to spend money.
Yeah, and if they're out of Google, nobody wins. Google doesn't win either. So yeah. Okay, so let's see what's in the community. I have 2 more questions from the community, but let's see what's going on in the chat. I see 14 new messages here. So we have somebody from hi Bjarke, hi. We have somebody from Ireland, and VP Empire says hello Emilia. And Imran, welcome Imran and Edward from England. And we have a lot of folks. I don't see a lot of questions yet.
There's a couple up there. I've seen
this one here.
I saw one from Pete, and J-Bug says that nobody welcomed him, and I'm saying welcome to J-Bug. How's it going, man?
Sure. And if I'm missing, or if we are missing a question, down the road, just post it again. I have one here from Vishal Patel. I have questions about rank micro niche site. So that's pretty broad. If you can type those questions in, that'll be great. And if you're just thinking in general how to rank a micro niche site, I think I have a video recorded. I can't remember always if I already put it out, because I'm in the camper right now. Maria and I are traveling Denmark so far. We're going to travel Europe for quite a while. So I have some videos lined up that I pre-recorded. And one of those is about if you should rank a microsite or go for a bigger niche. But just to finish that sentence, like about this RV camper lifestyle, I have a video going up, I think, in a week or 2. I just wanted to put in 1 or 2 more regular educational videos, so it's not like a live stream and then a video about me in a camper, and then it'll be too far out from what I usually do. But in a little while, I'll explain why I'm in a camper and why we're traveling so much. right now.
I see a question from Pete. He says, what did you learn from the process of buying sites? Martin, have you ever bought a site?
No.
Okay, so that must be
question
directed
is for you. Yeah.
That must be directed at me then. You know, there's literally so much that I learned from buying. I've done it twice. I did it on Flippa once, and then I also did it on Empire Flippers. And each of those processes sort of cleared up, I guess, this unknown world, right? You say, okay, well, what is the process of buying and selling? And that is absolutely relevant to those of us who are webmasters, operators, builders. You know, the exit or the ability to acquire an asset and then use it to build it. I mean, it just seemed overwhelming and intimidating and really scary, right? I mean, am I going to lose my money? What's going to happen? How does migration work and all the rest? And so just going through those experiences just cleared all that fog for the actual process, step by step, of making an offer on a site and then paying for it and then getting it. I mean, those were just really unclear to me and felt very intimidating. And having done it at least, well, now I've done it twice, it just made me feel so much more confident in that process. And so, you know, I learned a ton more from it, but initially it just cleared the air on that so that I had some expertise that a lot of people should have and could have, but people are afraid to go out and do. And it's just really informed the rest of my experience here on the web.
Mm-hmm. But thank you for sharing that. And Pete Miles is also asking, what's the average number of published posts and average word count for your sites? So
I'm gonna let you handle that one.
Okay, cool. So the average number of published posts on my site. So I have a very old site, Go Downsize, with, I think it's getting close to probably soon going to 700 articles. So that's a big one. And then I have a site with a couple of hundred articles and all the way down to a handful, because I'm starting new sites all the time. So everything from a handful to 600-700. And hello to the dinosaur.
We're here to have fun. This is a party.
Totally.
Hey, you know, by the way, people should know that this stream right here is helping Morton get monetized. That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You had how many hours?
Yeah. I think it was 18 hours away from getting monetized when we switched on the live stream here. So that's awesome. I mean, there are two requirements. You need 1,000 subscribers. I hit that a little while ago. And then you need, I think it's 4,000 watch hours. And I mean, probably right now it's a few hours away. So maybe it's right now that I hit that milestone. So that's awesome, because I'll be able to make a little buck just from the videos themselves. That's awesome.
I think it's a huge deal. I think it's a huge accomplishment. I don't think you should downplay it at all. I think a lot of people have this goal, and the fact that you are right there, I think is a huge deal. So I know you try to downplay it and you're so humble, but please, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, it is awesome. And also Imran is saying, Morten is a little tense, I think, and you're right. This is the first time going live, and I'm a little nervous about all this and how, not having too much time to think before you say anything. But I mean, it's all right. And thank you for putting it out there. I mean, that's just makes me even less tense, losing my shoulders a little bit and relaxing.
No, it's good. I mean, the whole purpose of being here is to just help make this easier for you, and then to show people that, I mean, anybody can really do it. I mean, you're doing it here, and it would be great if other people did too. It's a great way to build a community and to connect. And I mean, you're doing it. It's great.
Yeah, and I'm already enjoying it. I love it.
Let's see. I see Jesse had a question, and Pete said it was a good one. He said, Emilia, were the sites you bought and niches you were interested in, or did you totally choose them from a monetization standpoint? It was totally because I had money burning in my pocket, and I really had gotten it in my head that I was going to do this website investing thing. And so that was one of the things I learned was about patience. But a year ago when I did this, I wasn't patient. I just saw something that fit in my price range that looked like it was decent enough. And I was like, sold. And so I bought them. And they were not in niches that I knew anything about whatsoever. And so the first 3 months after buying those, I went down this rabbit hole of learning about those topics to be able to become I guess, knowledgeable enough to create content around those topics and to update the content that was actually there. And it was definitely within my skills and abilities. But
monetization side of things?
I was able to find an affiliate program for one of the sites that, so I was able to add another stream for one of them. Okay. And I do want to work on that for the other sites, but it wasn't one site. It was a package, and at the time, I was like, "This is so cool! I get a bunch of sites all at once, and that's great." And now, in hindsight, I would never do that again unless I had a team that I could hand them off to, because I'm human, right? I'm not mostly human. I'm all human. I have plenty of faults, and I have plenty of stuff to do. I have kids and a life and YouTube and all these other things. I don't have the ability to manage every single day and touch every single one of those sites every day. And what it means is that some of them are just in the hopper and they're just aging and they earn money, and I should be putting more time into them, and I just can't. It's just a sad thing, but I can't.
So do you feel like those new sites are taking your focus away from your existing sites, that you shouldn't have done this, or are you happy you did it?
I'm happy I did it because I learned so much. And I think of it like anything, anytime I waste money on things or throw money down a rabbit hole, I try to never regret those types of decisions, because it put me on the road. I would not be right here this minute with you if I had not done that. There is no chance that I would be right here doing this. It was the stepping stone to here. And Leon Angus talks about this, how he never looks at those decisions like mistakes, like, I would go back and undo it, because that just put him right here. And so maybe I could have done other things with that money. Maybe I could have started some other sites, but buying those sites gave me the knowledge and expertise to be able to do a lot of the things that I'm doing now. So I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again.
And Stephen also asked if I would consider buying a site in the future, and I might. I'm looking to sell a couple of sites. I want to try to sell, I think, 2 sites this year, simply because I love starting new sites myself. I love finding good domain names. I always have ideas lined up, so I might not buy a site this year, but maybe the next year, because I like to learn new things. And if I can make a shortcut by buying a site, why not? And also, VP Empires asks, or maybe I should actually click this one, because then they'll show on the screen, right?
I want to say hi. I just wanted to look at who's in the chat over there. I see Eric. I haven't seen Eric before. How's it going? Jesse's got more questions I want to get to. I wanted to give a shout out to John Davis. John Davis is a hustler who's a good friend of mine. And anytime I see him popping on, I want to shout him out, because I just love what he is doing. And he is in progress like so many of us. And just wanted to say, hey, John, it's nice to see you live. Who else have we not said hi to? Did we say hi to Steve Buchanan?
I don't think so.
Empires, Vishal. It's great to see you here. And so far, we've got 28 people on, and that is awesome. All right. What is the next question? Who is going to answer it?
So VP Empires is asking, will making router or gaming motherboard niche site is profitable? So that's not actually the question. I think he put 2 comments here.
Well, that, or is he asking?
Yes, he's asking, is it low competition? So the computer gaming motherboard niche, I think it's pretty competitive. Everything tech related, I assume, is pretty competitive. And also, I would be afraid that this content might not be as evergreen as other types of articles, because there's constantly coming out new stuff in this. It's something that's evolving really fast. So you might write an article today that might not be that relevant 3-4 years down the road. And I prefer myself to write content that will at least last for up to a handful of years, because that makes it possible for me to monetize that content for longer. So that's one thing to think about. And I think the competition will be high, but I haven't done a site specifically on that. But I have had a few tech sites. Actually, one of my first bigger sites is a Danish site about everything tech related, and it's definitely competitive. It needed a lot of links before anything important on that site would rank. So
my question is always, when people say, should I do this niche or should I do that niche? I always want to know, what research have you done? Have you looked at the keywords yet? And have you looked at the competition? Because it's one thing to say, there's a lot of content out there already. I mean, that's going to be the same for any niche. I can't think of a single niche unless it's something trending or something brand new that never existed before. I mean, every niche is going to have a website out there already that you're going to have to compete with. It's just, are there low competition keywords that you could target, or is there another strategy? Could you target the motherboard niche with YouTube or with Pinterest or with social media marketing? I mean, just because something is competitive doesn't mean you should stay away from it. You just have to be more thoughtful about how you approach getting traffic to it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're passionate about it, I mean, if that's what you want to do, definitely look at the competition, as Emilia said. Also look at other ways to do this, and then just Google. I mean, if this is something that you really want to write about, because that motivation is important if you're going to write the content for a long time.
Let's see. Somebody said they thought the monster was aimed at them, and the answer is yes. Yes, it is. Adam says he likes how self-effacing you are. I just wanted to highlight that.
And Peter's saying he's running on the phone and the tablet, so he's counting us 2 streams right now. Thank you.
So getting extra time. That is so sweet of you, Pete. That's awesome.
Pushing me over that monetization barrier.
Well, to celebrate, I will throw on the ears.
And welcome to the unicorn.
Welcome to the jungle, baby. Here we are. This is a party. This is legit. What else do I have here? I assembled all kinds of props for this just to make it fun, because I was worried that you were going to be nervous. So if I turn this way, can you see the eyeballs?
Yeah, when you're looking out the window, you get really creepy eyes.
They're all my kids' toys. I have like a whole box of props.
That's awesome. I also have a ton of Max's toys, but since we're in the camper, we didn't bring too much. We're light travelers, so I have a little bit. That's not Max's toys, but at least you want to
hear my other sound effects I brought?
Something none of you know about me. I'm actually a guitar player in a heavy band. That's not kidding.
Okay, so we have more questions. I think we have more questions, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff going on over there. I'm paying attention. What else?
There's a question here. Morten, how much can you sell a website if you're earning an average of $1,500 per month and it's 15 months old? How do you sell it? So there's a lot of places you can sell your website, and if it's a niche that's generally popular, and you're not giving us the niche right here, but let's say it's something that's also there the next year. It's not something that's going away like fidget spinners. It's something that's not just trending right now. It's something that you can make money off of many years to come. You can typically multiply your month earnings. So let's say it's $1,500 per month. You can typically multiply that by 30, maybe 25, maybe all the way up to 40 if you have a really, really awesome site. So it also, of course, depends on a lot of factors. Like the buyer would look at how risky is the site. Are there a ton of unnatural links pointing to the site? So Google might penalize it or throw it out of the index. And is it all bound up on one affiliate program that could be taken off or stuff like that? So the more diversified your income on the site is, and the broader and bigger you can say the niche, the more potential there is to make more money with the site, the higher the multiplier. But I don't think I would sell any of my sites for less than at least 28 or 30 times an average month revenue. And you have to look back. I think most people will say for the last 12 months. Some people say 8 months back. So if the site is only 15 months old, it's probably growing pretty fast, right? You might be able to sell it at a pretty high, not be able to sell it at a 30x multiplier. But yeah, you maybe need a little more history in order to get that number.
You know what I think of when I see questions like that? I think people should try to put themselves in the position of a buyer. So what it is that you would want to see for a site that was earning $1,500 a month. For me, if it's only 15 months old, I'm excited about the earnings per month, but I'm also concerned because I don't know, what the traffic graph looks like. So you say, oh, you could get a 30x, just because it's $1,500 a month. I mean, that's not the end of the inquiry. I want to know how stable is the traffic. Is this a matter of it going up and then is it going to come down and then stabilize out versus going straight up and then up and up and up? I would want to know about the monetization strategies and how passive it is, because I think the less work that the buyer will have to do to continue to make those earnings happen, the more valuable that the site potentially is. I mean, you can have a site monetized with physical products. I mean, he doesn't say what it's monetized with, so that could be $1,500 of revenue or $1,500 profit. I mean, it's sort of a general way to start the conversation, but from a buyer standpoint, there's so much more that would go into it. And a 15 months old site, if it's growing and it's earning, it seems like you might be putting the cart before the horse about unloading it. People might be concerned with what you would be trying to do with the 15-month-old site, trying to sell it. And did you ramp up the earnings really quickly using black hat techniques that they might not be able to figure out? I mean, most legitimate sites, they grow slowly over time. Maybe they earn a lot, but we're seeing usually a steady growth. That's what I want to see as a buyer. I'm very suspicious of gigantic spikes, because I feel like somebody must have done something unnatural to make that happen and makes it vulnerable. So I guess what I want to know is I'd want to know more about the site.
I actually, this week I was editing a video that I filmed before we went on this camper trip. And it's about, I'm just looking at a site that's for sale online. And I'm sharing on this video exactly what I'm looking at in this site if I wanted to buy it. And so you can look out for that video. It's coming out pretty soon, and it's exactly what you're talking about, like sort of a risk assessment on it. Like, yeah.
I got a text from somebody that said there was a bug on my shoulder, and I don't see it. Does anybody see the bug on my shoulder, or is it gone?
No, I think you're good.
What other questions?
700 articles and go downsize. That's a crazy number. And yeah, it is a crazy number. It's also an old site, but actually most of the content has been added over the last couple of years as I've been building up a rather huge team of writers. And J-Bug is saying, more than I understood, you will make a course for building sites. Will there also be a course for leveling up for people that build sites a long time already? Yeah, totally. So it'll be sort of an all-compassing course with everything I've learned so far from a beginner's perspective. There will also be all the stuff that I've learned over the last recent years, from taking a site from 100,000 page views to half a million page views. I just crossed 500,000 page views on one of my bigger sites, and that's awesome. I'm hoping it will go to 1 million page views this year, or at least next year.
That's something we're celebrating, right?
Yeah. Let's grab another question here.
Yeah.
I don't have time to read it. I'm just going to throw it up on the screen and read it here. Morten, you have an up and coming YouTube channel with a complimentary blog and course coming out soon. At what point did you decide that you wanted to share your knowledge and go this route? All right, so I touched briefly on that at the beginning of this video. It's something that I've been going forth and back on many times, if I should do a YouTube channel and share what I've learned so far along the road. And I think definitely what kept me over that edge or whatever line to actually go public with like this was the community part, because I wanted to get to know other people out there doing what I do, like you folks in the chat here and Emilia here and other people that I've already gotten to know from. There's a ton of awesome people publishing websites and doing content websites and affiliate websites. So that's just really, really great. I've been fortunate already to meet a lot of these guys and you guys, and I'm really happy to do it. So that's why I decided to do it.
I'm looking over at the YouTube and it shows we have 40 people watching right now, which is super exciting. And thank you so much for being here. And if you are there and you have not already done it, hit that thumbs up button and let's force YouTube to blast this out and put it into the browse section so that more people will come and hang out with us. Let's help Morten get over that monetization hump. Even the dinosaur says, let's help him.
Yeah, let's throw this one at you. So, Emilia, what's your site's mix between ads and affiliate or info post versus commercial content revenue, if you want to share?
Well, most of my sites at this point are mostly 90-some%, with the exception of one, which is monetized solely with affiliate, are info type content monetized with ad revenue. So for me, the mix is on those sites, on the ad sites, is like 99% info content to affiliates. And mostly in the last couple of months, I've started adding more affiliate links into info content to see if I could draw people to the to Amazon or to some other affiliate program without having to create a whole nother post. If I can just get them over to Amazon and then get the whole cart percentage, I mean, it's not that much money, but when you're earning, a couple dollars in your CPM, for ad revenue, I mean, a $5 purchase or $5 earnings from Amazon could double your day for that particular site. And so I've had some success recently with high traffic posts, just sending a couple of those people over to Amazon and getting some traction there. It's been kind of fun to add that. But for me, your answer might be much different than mine because of the way my stuff is set up.
Well, I have sites all over the place here. So one of my older sites, it's a Danish tech website that I talked about before. I didn't even have ads on that site until recently when I found out about it a year ago, because there's not a lot of ad networks targeting Danish users and the Danish audience. But with the Zoic, I was able to do that. So that's actually earning me a good deal of money now with the ads. But before, it was 100% affiliate. So it's about broadband connections and mobile subscriptions and all that stuff. So that's why I know it's quite competitive, at least in Denmark. And I mean, if anything is competitive in Denmark, it's definitely competitive in the States. So my mix between ads and affiliate, I mean, it differs from site to site. But for my bigger sites, and I should say, let's just take all my traffic in general, it's probably, if I should just guess at the top of my head, 70% ads and 30% affiliate. And I want to see if I can even that out, so it's more like a 50-50, and also to add in a few. I'm looking to do some info products also, where I get 100% of the revenue, of course. So like an ebook and also my course here on this channel, of course. So
I just see a really funny comment. Hey, Alte, how's it going? By the way, man, you sent me some messages on Facebook and I just haven't caught up with them because I am behind. But he says, I am addicted to Haagen-Dazs. What would we do without Denmark?
I don't think that's Danish. I think that's German. I don't know, but it's close enough. I mean, if I drive 1 hour south from here, I'm in Germany. And actually, if I drive 2 hours to the other side, I'm in Sweden. And the other way, I'm in the water. So Denmark is tiny.
What else we got?
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, here's a question. Can I rank Google without backlinks? So I did a video about this where I show, for 3 of my recent sites, I show exactly how fast I get traffic to the 3 different sites with absolutely no link building. Or I shouldn't say absolutely, because I linked between my own sites, maybe 1 or 2 links. I wouldn't call that link building. I didn't ask anybody or pay anybody or beg anybody for links. So you can definitely do that. You just need to go for underserved topics. So check out my channel for a video about that. Do you also do that? Or do you build links, Emilia?
Not really. And it's something that I want to know more about, because I honestly just think it's not an area that I know very much about. And so if I were to be building links, I feel like it would be very uninformed, sort of just a scatter shot of like, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this. And then, have no real expectation of what should happen. So
exactly.
I would like to know more. I would like to know more about it. I was seeing a question from Pete, who says, how are my sites different from other people's, and what separates your strategy from others, other builders or peers? And I think my answer is there's nothing special about what I do. There really isn't. There's starting a new site or starting your first business doesn't mean reinventing the wheel at all. The information is out there, and people just have to start something. There literally is nothing. And Morton's going to like roll his eyes at me, but I say there's really nothing special about me or what I do. I mean, maybe the difference between me and some other folks who are in the chat or who aren't here, who aren't taking any action at all, is I just said, let's do it.
I just see that I need to get some battery on my computer here. Otherwise it's dying and this whole stream will just be so take the wheel, Emilia.
I will take the questions. So I mean, what makes me different from other people? There is not a whole heck of a lot. I'm going through the chat and I don't have any control over anything else. Steve says that we could do a 12-hour live stream, and I have actually thought about that. I have actually thought about doing a filibuster style, like let's just hang out and bring people on consistently and just have people like pop on and off all day, and that it would be like a really cool party to do. So going through the chat, and I see John. I don't know if he still is here, but that's cool.
Okay, the stream is saved.
We're saved. We're saved.
And Maria want to say hi. That's my wife.
Hi.
Hi, Maria. Thanks for lending us your husband.
Of course. I bet he's having a lot of fun.
Well, you are a serious YouTuber on your own, right? You have a channel that has 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Basically, you should just kick your husband out of that seat, and then you could just sit there and talk.
Totally, she's the YouTube queen. That's how I refer to her sometimes. It's a channel that's connected to our site Go Downsize that I just talked about before with 700 articles. So that actually started as a it did start as a blog, and then
I started another blog, and then that morphed into Go Downsize, and then that turned into the channel. And
and you found that you like doing videos more than writing, and then I took over the website.
Yeah, I do not like writing. Nope. I like videoing.
Turns out you don't have to. You could pay someone else to do those things.
Yeah, that's possible.
Well, thank you.
Or you can marry somebody who likes to write.
That's a quick tip. If you can find
outsource the entire website building process by marrying somebody.
Exactly.
I'll write that one down.
You guys have fun. I just want to say hi.
Hi, thank you.
All right. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria's back in the camper here, putting Max to sleep. He's probably sleeping now since he's coming out here. I don't know if you guys can hear that it's raining here. It's the first day we had rain on this tour. We've been in the camper now for 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
No, it's not the first day. It's the first day in a while. So.
I see a question from Jesse. He says, Emilia, have you considered flipping the sites that you have? And the answer is yes. But instead of doing them, potentially just straight up selling them, just watching sort of the bouncing up and down of what the algorithm has done to them, I've considered breaking apart some of them and creating some other content, not necessarily content, but inventory in the world of starter sites. I saw an article come out recently from a gal who went and bought a site that had a ton of content on it that wasn't really earning very much. And she ended up flipping all of the content broken up into smaller sites and made 10 times what it is that she invested in the site. And I'm really curious about that strategy and potentially using it on some of the low earning stuff that I have that I do want to unload, mostly because I can't manage it. I don't want to manage it, and I don't want to have a team because it doesn't fit in with my strategy of not having to deal with people at all. So
what do you mean not having to deal with people at all?
I want to be able to leave. If I want to go you and jump into my truck and then go offline and off the grid and not have to be needed for anything, I want to be able to do that. And having a team and having other people I have to deal with is.
Yeah, I have a pretty large team, but they all working from everywhere. I only met my editor so far. She's in Michigan and I'm in Denmark. So.
How big is your team?
Well, my editor, she's around full time, and then I have another half time. And aside from that, it's all writers. So I think I'm at 10 writers right now. So 10? Some are not working right now due to the whole pandemic thing. So I'm trying to get it up to 14 or 15 writers, but they don't write the same amount, all of them. So I should actually talk about how many articles I publish per month. So it's around 60 or 70 articles per month, and I want to get to 100. I haven't hit 100 per month, but that's what I'm aiming for this summer, and I think I'm getting there because I'm hiring some new people over at ProBlogger right now.
So people are wanting to know when you're going to launch your course.
Yeah, so this year, I actually here in the camper, I've cleared my schedule. Of course, I'm not doing a lot of other stuff than just hang out with my family and doing YouTube videos and working on the course. So I've been able to get a lot of the course done here on this trip. So I'm doing a lot of writing. So it'll be writing and videos, of course, and it's just coming out much faster than I feared it would. It's actually quite easy for me to do because, so that's great. So back to the question, I'm thinking November, December would be my best guess, because I don't want to say in 2 months, because that's probably not going to happen, but as soon as possible. And I'm probably going to let in I'm thinking about letting in a couple of people here from the channel first, just to give it a little test run and then give those guys more access to me over a couple of months. So that'll be something for you guys to, a reason to do that. But I'll let you know as soon as that is something we can do.
Well, what other questions do we have? Who should it?
Let's just grab a few quick ones. J-Box says, "Hi Morten, I'd like to sell one of my sites, but some of my niches are extremely unique. So these 20 articles bring in most of my traffic. If I put my site on sale, I'm scared people won't buy but copy." So that's always the thing. I mean, if you're not selling to your neighbor or your brother, there might be a lot of eyeballs on your site. They will see the numbers and the stats and so on. So it's definitely a concern. But I mean, I think if you decide to sell, then you're going to sell. It's not like you're going to put it out there and not sell it anyway. So be pretty sure you're going to sell it if you put it out there, because then it's not your problem anymore. I think that's my best advice. But I don't have a ton of. I have sold like I think 8 or 10 sites over a couple of years, and also a couple of sites that were monetized with the Zoic. So and it has been going well. But I sold those sites to people I know in my own network. So. I mean,
I think though you've highlighted something that people could use to combat that fear, and they want to make things more secure. And one is to sell within their network. So to put that site out there, to put the feelers out to people that you trust as a place to start. Yeah. The other thing I would suggest is that if you are going to vet buyers, is that you only vet buyers that are potentially in your country. So you can have them sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and a promise, non-competition agreement. So if they choose to not buy it, that they will not create content around it. And part of it you have to follow up on and watch them. But people, especially if you're in the same country, then you could at least have a chance of enforcing it. If somebody was in Australia and they copied your site, and then you're talking about an international enforcement of a contract that in a total choice of drama laws, but again, vetting your potential buyer more carefully than just simply going on Facebook and posting it and then sharing it to anybody and everybody. In that case, I would be really hard pressed to just list it for sale without requiring a deposit or without having some sort of connection established first, or using a broker. I definitely wouldn't go list it on Flippa. I mean, that used to be a strategy. People would just go on Flippa and then cruise the sites that were for sale to try to steal the niche or to try to steal the product.
Yeah.
And so
I've seen that mentioned even as in how to find your niche strategy a couple of times. People go on Flippa just to get ideas. So maybe don't do that if you're not sure you're going to sell it at least. Let's grab another quick one here. So Jess is asking, Morten, I hear you talk about the Zoic and AdThrive often. Have you used Mediavine as well? What's your opinion compared to the other two? I haven't, so I want to do that at some point. Have you tried them out?
I have not used Mediavine yet. Actually, I did try to apply to have a site with Mediavine and got denied.
Okay, I just heard like recently, I think like yesterday or something like that, they just doubled the amount of page views you need to get in, I think from 25,000 to 50,000. And also if you have a site there already, you're not able to get your other sites in faster.
Yeah, that's huge news.
Bummer.
And I think that is going to change the plan, the strategic plans that a lot of people had. I think a lot of people, especially folks who are in the Project 24 course, they were sort of taught to not put ads on and just wait until your site had enough traffic so that when you did join an ad network that you could earn a lot of money. And I think a lot of people were aiming for 25,000 so they could skip over ad networks that they might have perceived as not to be good. And then they would join Mediavine at 25,000. Now their option is going to be to find another ad network or to wait until they get to 50,000. And I think that's going to be, people are going to see that as maybe a larger challenge, and then a bunch of wasted time that a site could be earning quite a bit of money. For 25,000 visitors, there's potentially hundreds of dollars there.
Yeah, and I mean, you definitely want to monetize your site before you get to 25,000 pages, because that's just a lot of money to leave on the table. I mean, some of my sites are making a ton of money, not a ton of money, but a really, really good earnings per 1,000 page views long before it gets to 25,000. So if you wait till 50,000, that's just very demotivating. So I think it's just going to push a lot of people over to Zoic and some of the other smaller ad networks. But really, coming back to the numbers and how to compare the three of them and all the other ones, I mean, for these three, I mean, I mentioned Mediavine on my site because a lot of people are using those. And I have a lot of friends with sites on Mediavine, and I hear similar numbers. I mean, people shuffle around between these three ad networks. That's what I hear. And that's also why I haven't tested them out, because I hear you get similar numbers. And I took 2 sites from Ezoic to AdThrive. The numbers were not that different. I mean, yeah. So in some niches, I would go with AdThrive. They have a lot of mom bloggers and food bloggers. And so if you're in specific niches, there might be some wins there where they have some exclusive deals. But I don't think there's a lot of difference there.
I have a quick question for you, Morten, and I've been getting this question a lot lately. A lot of people, and I have some friends in the chat who have talked to me about this, you know, and it was a friendly chat, but there's this perception that people who are talking about Ezoic on YouTube are only doing it because of the affiliate program. And it was hard for me not to take offense to those comments, even though they were well meant and not aimed at me, because I'm very clear and open and honest with people. Like, I only recommend products on YouTube that I use myself. And I don't have experience with it. I don't know it. I'm not going to recommend it. I'm not going to tell people to do it. Do you make tons of money with the Ezoic affiliate program?
No, I think I make like $50 per month. So I don't think it could show up on if I did an income report. So, but I also show my numbers. I mean, if people think I'm just promoting something just to like Ezoic, I mean, I'm showing people on my channel how much I'm making with Ezoic. I even compare the numbers side by side to AdThrive. And I mean, AdThrive, they don't have an affiliate program, but I still talk about them. So I just talk about what I use. I don't even know if MediaVine has an affiliate program. But I mean, the money you get, I mean, unless you're like going to refer New York Times or something like that, you're not going to make like a ton of money. But the good thing is, like, it's money that you earn on a monthly basis forever. So it's definitely do it. I mean, when you get a commission, normally it's not a recurring commission, but this is. So I mean, making $150 or $100 per month for 10 years. That's awesome. Anyway, but yeah.
But I mean, but it's because you're actually in the program, and you wouldn't recommend people to use it if you weren't using it, right? I mean,
no, people can see it's on my site. Why would I use it on my site if it's not awesome? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there because I've been getting that question a lot. I mean, not just like it's happening multiple times a day. People are making that comment to me, and I think it's just there's a lot of people talking about Ezoic right now, but the people say, oh, well, it's just they started the affiliate program. Apparently, their affiliate program is almost 10 years old. And so I don't know where there's this sudden new perception that there is a new affiliate program that people are joining to make money from it. And that's why they're recommending it. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody here's VP Empires is asking answer about backlinks. So just put in the question. Yeah, I didn't catch the question. I was not trying to skip a question, but I mean, people love to talk about backlinks, and so we can just talk a bit more about it because I think it's definitely a hot topic right now. So we were talked a bit about before if we were able to rank without actively building links, like going for these low-hanging fruits, or what do you want to call the underserved topics that hasn't been written too much on before. So that's definitely my strategy, and I'm just waiting for the links to come naturally. But I think it's also, we could talk a bit about when are we doing active link building or building backlinks, and when are we not building backlinks? I mean, where is the line? Nobody knows, and all this white, black, gray, whatever type of hat you want to talk about. Let's talk a bit about that. I think that's always interesting. So I can start by telling what I'm doing. I have built a ton of links back in the days because I've been doing this for 13 years. I mean, my Danish tech site, I shouldn't talk about too much about link building, but that's just how you did it. I mean, everybody did that back in the day. So I see it this way, that Google has become better and better. I think that's one of the biggest opportunities right now. If you want to get started, it's just awesome because you can actually start a site without a ton of link building. I'm not sure you could do that like many years ago. So I think that is definitely awesome. And getting back to backlinks, as I've been sharing on the channel, I use Haro, like help a reporter out. I don't use it. I would say one of the reasons why I'm using it is to get links to my site, of course. And it's also just to get mentions, where people will talk about the domain, mention my site without linking to it. I'm sure Google pick up on all those signals, also to make it look natural. It's just good old genuine online marketing for your site. And yeah, what are your thoughts on backlinks and so on? You said that you didn't build a ton of links, you might not even have experience with it.
I think it's something that people should do thoughtfully and with their research, and not just go on the hop and just pick a package because that's something that they think will work.
Definitely don't do that.
I think you just need, and I've done that, by the way. So I can speak from experience that you need to have a plan for backlinks, and especially if you're going to invest a lot of money, do some research about not just where you're going to get your links, but where you're going to direct them to, and then learning about anchor text. Like, some of the technological stuff is really overwhelming to people, and they don't want to learn that stuff. They just want to go buy a package, but that stuff matters.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump over to the chat and say hi to Chris of Niche Safari. Chris is somebody I call out all the time because he hadn't included his last name, and he finally added a branding to his name. So now we all know that Chris at Niche Safari has got a great YouTube channel that is growing, and I shout him out anytime that I can. I saw that Steve Buchanan sold a site to Motion Invest, and I'd be curious if Steve is still here to just type a little bit more in the comments about that experience, if it was a good experience or not.
Yeah, so Motion Invest is one of those places where you can sell your site.
Yep. If you could share them
pretty quickly, I should say.
That's their thing. And then I also see Emil was here. He just dropped in, and he's going to catch the replay later. And
awesome.
Then
Thanks.
Questions from Eric and Barry. And so we still have plenty to get through. So, I mean,
let's grab another one here. Mike Mosca is saying, to both of you, what are your plans for your sites over the next 12 months? And how have recent events like Google, Amazon, COVID-19 affected your plans? You want to go?
Sure, I'll field that one first. I've been pretty upfront and honest about my concern about the change in the world and the volatility of all these various programs. And so for me, I've taken a step back from focusing 100% of my time on my websites, and I'm focusing on building multiple streams of income from various platforms. And so it slows down the amount of work I'm able to do on my sites. But I'm very concerned about one of those revenue streams just going away for something that I cannot control. So I find myself reaching out and trying things that other people aren't doing, and kind of look at me like, what? You build websites. Why are you starting a podcast? I mean, why are you investing in YouTube? I started an email newsletter that's for me personally, and I'm not very good at any of these things, but the keyword is yet, right? I mean, I've got to learn how to do these things because I want to be able to make those revenue streams in the future in an ethical way, in a reasonable and ethical way, not just, grabbing the quick buck to pay my bills. So my plans for my sites are to unload the stuff that is not making me money, or that I do not have immediate plans for in the next 24 months. So if I can't see myself working on it in the next 2 years, I'm going to dump it, I think, and just try to get my money out of it and invest that money back into my business, and just not carry around this dead weight, like, continue to pay for the domain, continue to pay for the hosting, and do nothing with it. It's not earning anything. And then look at what activities that I have that are earning revenue, and look at the ones where I could invest the least amount of time to maximize the amount of money coming back out for growth. And so I'm looking at more of a global plan than just say, with this site in particular, I'm going to make all of my articles A, B, C, and D. I mean, yes, that's part of it, but I'm on more of a global thing. I saw some statistic about millionaires that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And you think, okay, I've got, like, how many do I have here? Like, I need some more.
Yeah, but it also depends on how you define income streams. I mean, just for one of my sites, I might have 3 income streams right there. I mean, affiliate ads and an info product.
But if that site, something happened to that site, that income stream is gone.
That is true. Yeah, that's also why I'm building a portfolio of 5 bigger sites. But I have more sites than that. But I'm trying to build out 5 in very different niches, because right now with the COVID-19 and the Corona thing, I know somebody with a huge travel site, and of course, that was just slashed down for several months now to earn next to nothing. So I could take them one by one. So the Google updates, I mean, every quarter Google puts up a new update, and across all my sites and many hundred thousands of page views, I just always get a little bump on the bigger site. The bigger the site, it's easier to see. It's just like it's plateauing for a while, and then it continues to grow from there. It basically just sets me back a month or 2. I think we even talked about this when we went live on your channel last week. And I think what I said and what I would say today is that I think it's just Google keeping people on Google and not sending them to our sites in general. And I don't see that as a big problem. I mean, at some point they can tweak that anymore, probably. Also because they're trying to squeeze more cents and dollars out of the Google Ads program and keep people in what I call Google land. But so to me, it does not affect my strategy in any way. I mean, it sets me back a month maybe, but I usually say even if Google cuts my traffic in half, I mean, if the potential is 50% of what it is today, I would still 100% go for the business plan I have right now by building sites out over many years. And with Amazon, I'm not really reliant on Amazon. I think Amazon is, if my guess would be 5-10% of my income. So I always, from the early days, diversified into share sale, commission junction. I'm looking into Avant Link and ClickBank and others. So I'm spread over a lot of affiliate programs and many different stores, because one time I had a huge affiliate, what I can say, contract of mine just going out of the window like many years ago. And I learned my lesson not to be dependent on a few good programs, because, and I mean, Amazon is just one huge program. They can slash it all overnight. And what would you do if you're 90% monetized with Amazon? So I'm not there. And also with the COVID-19, I mean, that's been awesome for me. The first thing that happened was that the ad earnings dropped like a lot, but then quickly the traffic across my sites started to grow a lot. Totally. I mean, some of my sites has been doubling in traffic, and it seems like they are almost staying there. So that's so the net effect of that is really great, I think, and in general for online publishers, as it had time to, and right now over the last 2 weeks, I've seen the revenue, the RPMs, the earning per 1,000 page views with Ezoic and AdFrive across 8 of my sites really start to come back to the level it was before the COVID-19. So that's really awesome. I mean, one of Go Downside just crossed $12,000 in ad earnings this last 30 days. I'm really excited about that. And that's because the ad earnings are coming back and the traffic is just way up because people have time to research and look into their hobbies and do things.
From Chris. I don't know if Chris is still here. Chris, if you're still here, say hi in the chat. But he's wanting to know how much you reinvest into your sites per month. So how much do you spend if you keep that total of buying content, paying editors, and etc.?
Yeah, I'm trying to aim for reinvesting around 30%, but it never gets to that point because I try to hire a ton of writers, and then there's this Corona thing, and there's just been a lot of things going on in the world, as I have a lot of American writers. So it's not up there, but I'm trying to my business in writers and editing and all that stuff in my team. There's also a question here. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just. He
check
says
out his channel also.
He says he's in the car driving, and he just wanted to know that.
Well, thank you. Don't lose sight of the road, man. There's a question here from Nikki, Nick's Studio. Hi, I'm from India. Awesome, good to have you here. Can you give some direction, I think, about startup, the affiliate marketing, and how you started your first income? Okay, so how to get started with affiliate marketing.
I see it. Hang on. I'm going to refresh it and then see if it brings it back.
The only button I have is to end the broadcast.
Yeah, that might be and I don't know if it's a matter of the stream, like the stream. An error, playback, connection to server lost, something went wrong.